Hey everyone, welcome back to Zen and Hustle, your go-to channel for improving both your mindset and your relationships. Today we're diving into a phrase that we all know too well, I told you so. Did you know the average person hears I told you so about 10 times a month? And here's the kicker. Research shows that saying it too often can create long-lasting emotional strain on relationships. But why is that? And how can we navigate these tricky conversations better? Think about it. How often have you heard I told you so after something goes wrong? Whether it's a forgotten deadline, a bad investment, or even spilling coffee on yourself after being warned. It's such a common phrase, but every time it's used, it introduces a subtle shift in the conversation. The person saying it feels validated, while the person hearing it often feels defensive or embarrassed. Instead of resolving an issue, it creates tension. We typically use I told you so in moments of frustration, like when our advice isn't followed, or when we foresee a problem that someone else ignores. But what's interesting is that these situations can affect communication dynamics, creating an imbalance in the relationship where one person seems smarter or more responsible. This can lead to resentment over time. Let's look at a few examples. Picture this. You warned your friend about not parking in a no parking zone, and sure enough, they get a ticket. You say I told you so. While it feels satisfying to be right, how does your friend feel? Probably embarrassed or irritated. They know you were right. They don't need to be reminded. On the flip side, sometimes saying I told you so can be lighthearted or even bonding. Maybe you playfully warned your partner about leaving laundry too long, and it ends up smelling. In that case, both of you might laugh it off. It's all about tone and timing. But in more serious matters, think personal finances or career decisions, I told you so can sting much deeper. It signals that you're focusing more on being right than being supportive. I once heard a powerful story about a couple who constantly used I told you so in their arguments. It became a default response whenever something went wrong. Over time, it eroded trust and made the relationship feel like a competition, where one person was always trying to outdo the other. It wasn't until they had an open conversation about how hurtful the phrase was that they realized the damage it had done. They decided to replace I told you so with empathy, and it transformed their communication. So, what's the takeaway? While it may be tempting to say I told you so, it's often better to offer understanding rather than proving you were right. It can make a world of difference in how we connect with others and maintain healthy relationships. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's your most memorable I told you so moment? Share your story in the comments, and let's start a conversation about how we can approach these situations more mindfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on balancing life, relationships, and ambition. See you next time at Zen and Hustle.